Welcome back to Edinburgh for our latest episode of Box 2 in partnership with Best Western Hotels GB, supporting local, proudly independent hotels. Welcome back to Box 2, myself, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, for this, another weekly roundup. And this week I am joined by commercial director and Leeds Rhinos superfan, Rob Oates. Now, I've got to describe you as a superfan, Rob, because commercial director doesn't do justice to your role within this club for the totality of your fan experience since being a youngster. So just give us a bit of an insight into your journey with Leeds RL.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Thanks for having me. I've been a fan since I was 3 years old. Used to sit on the wall in the paddock with my granddad and my dad and my sister on the Trumans of Steel board. Loved everything about it from the moment I could remember players and the noise and the buzz that gave me. And I've been a fan ever since. So coming up 50 years, I've been a fan. I'm 53 this year. And I love it. I love the club. I love everything about it. And to work here and be here for 20 years now, it's been a privilege and an absolute pleasure. And I've loved every single minute of it. And, go home and away, missed 3 games in 26 years, home and away. But when I get a chance to see the academy or anything, the women's team and anything to do with the Rhinos, I'll be there. I absolutely love it.
We'll talk about your job specifically, but I'm just amazed at that passion. And I learn something from Rob every time I listen to you speak from a work point of view. And I've been here 27 years, and the inner workings of what goes behind the running of a Super League club, and an entity, not just of a rugby league club, but the entity that has become the brand of the Leeds Rhinos is just fascinating. But before we get into that, Rob, let's touch on the international just gone. I was over the moon to see Ash Handley perform the way that he did. Obviously, Tommy Allroyd as well, been on a bit of a journey recovering from injury. It's been a lousy couple of years for him off the pitch, hasn't it? But for me, I remember Ash Handley making his debut. I remember him scoring a hat-trick at Saints, I think in about 2015. Understood the potential in this kid, and I've got the hair standing up at the back of my neck. But an international player for me never had the opportunity to show his worth, but he got that opportunity this week, and he was outstanding. Did you enjoy watching him?
Loved it. And the first thought about those games is who's in from our team.
Yeah.
And if they are in, I hope they go really well, because it's a big thing, isn't it? Playing for your countries is huge. So I've seen all the the social media and all the coverage of them getting presented with the caps and stuff, and so pleased for Ash. And like you said, Tom had a horrendous last year, didn't he? He didn't play once for the first team. Got injured at Fev in that friendly, didn't he? Then banned ridiculously. And he's like been a great performer for us this year, hasn't he? And fully deserved his call up and played well. And Ash, that catch is just the money shot.
Wow,
great picture. The picture just captured it. I saw Ash yesterday and said, that'll just stay with you forever, mate. I said, that's to do that on any stage, but on an international stage was great. And we need to keep going with that international stuff on it. I know the crowd, some people were saying that was slightly disappointing, but it's a start, and let's just keep going with it.
Yeah, Tommy Allroyd as well. I always describe him as being like one of those crocodiles in the old black and white Tarzan films. It don't matter who puts him on his back, he just rolls over. And I was particularly happy as well for Tyler Dupree, an old friend of his, come through our system. They were like Bebop and Rocksteady from Turtles when they came through. You could not separate them. But being on very different journeys and come back on an international stage, those little stories are nice to see out there.
He's done well, hasn't he? He's done really well, and we'll see him on Friday, won't we?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's here Friday, isn't he? And I know he played under Brian Mack at Oldham as well, didn't he? So he's had a really a long and different journey to where he's at today, and he fully deserved that call up too.
Yeah, just thinking about the commerciality, if that makes sense, of international games. What would you like to see going forward? It's tough, isn't it? That neither French teams, the men nor women's, scored a point. But putting your commercial hat on and your fandom hat on, what would you do from a personal point of view to try and encourage, even if it's slowly and incrementally, the international game?
You just need events that are set in the diary, so people get used to those events. Like the State of Origin stuff. Everyone knows at that time of year that it's Origin Series time, and we need something. If that's a one-off game, against France, and then a tour in the autumn like we've got, and we'll talk about the Tongans coming across at the end of the year, which is really exciting. But you just need stuff that's set in the diary, and then you can hang your hat commercially on it. If you're never quite sure whether you're playing or you're not, why would anyone sponsor England? Why would anyone get behind the national team as fervently as you'd want? So, yeah, you just need continuity for sure.
And it's an ecosystem, isn't it? So whether you're a partner, a stakeholder, a sponsor, it's about bringing people together, telling a story, creating a hub, an organic hub. And that's what this is. It's more than just a rugby club. We've got so many teams that we talk about each week. But just tell us about externally, the people that surround that green rectangle, or a wheelchair rugby pitch or a netball court. What is important about bringing them together in these types of sporting events and arenas?
Well, we talk about the Rhinos family, and we talk about that a lot, and it's really important that people have a sense of belonging and something to care about and something to cheer on and something, a team or an event to get behind and feel part of it. And I think we're pretty good at like trying to make people feel part and welcomed, and they are part of it. We all our sponsors and partners here at the Rhinos, we talk about it a lot, but they are part of it. It's a special place and it's a special club, but it's only special because of the people who are involved in it. And that's not just the people who work here and the players, it's the extended family that is the commercial partners, that are the fans, that are the members. And that's a real important part of then to commercially get on the right foot, but also to make your club feel part of the community.
And we're fortunate that we've got an international cricket ground on one side, a wonderful resource and facility here. Events are a big thing as well. It's not just about sport. We had Leeds 2023 did the launch here at the beginning of this year. Josh Warrington's fought a fight. What can we look forward to going forward, and how important are those peripheral events too?
Absolutely, because that was the vision, and I spoke when we got the Josh fight here, that was the vision when we did the £45 million redevelopment. There would be concerts here, there would be other events other than rugby, there would be other events other than cricket, and those things are what I wake up at 3 in the morning thinking about, that how are we doing that, because that is the next phase of what everybody sees on a Friday, when they come to the ground on Friday. It's absolutely fabulous, the stadium now, but it needs other events as well, and we're on with that, and it's a challenge because there are a number of other venues in and around the county that are well placed to put those events on. But yeah, we will sort that out in time.
I've been a player here, Rob, and I've been a coach, and I understand the weight of expectation of Leeds, and rightly so as well. And I think both of us always want to perform, we want to deliver. Just give us a bit of an insight as a commercial director, that pressure to bring in those partners, those sponsorships, that part of the family, because ultimately clubs like this, whilst externally might look like we've got it all at Rhinos, we've got everything, managing that brings a bigger weight of expectation for somebody like yourself who's passionate about the club as well.
Yeah. It's a bit different to being a player, innit? We have a budget, and that's the budget. The budget's the budget, and we need to hit the budget. That's the hard point of it. I think the first thing I'd say is that the reason why I wake up in the night and why I think about it 24/7 is because I care. Yeah. And like we've got people who are right across the business who care about the club. For fans watching this, I don't worry about the rugby department because Rowan Smith cares, and he's so detailed and so engrossed in making that right. Then I know that that's 100% on the right path. So I don't worry about that anymore. I did at times, but I don't. And commercially, we're all over it, and we need to hit the budget. The beauty thing with us is that there's no specific, company or trade or people that have to come to rugby. It's everyone. Sure. So everyone's a target. Everybody we talk to is a target to come, hospitality-wise, do a bit of sponsorship, whatever. So it's a wide open book, and Leeds is such a vibrant, good place. There are plenty of people who we talk to and need to talk to. And if anyone's watching this or wants to talk to us, give us a shout. But yeah, it's we do care, and I guess the successes and everything we've had is, I think one thing that I'd take from you, Jamie, and I've learned so much from you and that golden generation team, was enjoy it.
Yeah.
and you perform better when you're enjoying it. 100%. You know, whether you're playing or working or whatever you're doing, if you're enjoying it and you're happy, then you'll have more success for sure. So, you know, celebrate the wins and enjoy the, you know, the big deals that we've had. You know, we go out for dinner, you know, we like whooping in the offices and stuff because stuff's landed, and you go, that's important to, like, you know, celebrate it and have a really nice atmosphere and you know, place to work. And we've got that. We've got such a good group of people who work at Leeds Rhinos. Yeah, it's just a great place to be.
I have fun every day. It's different. Sometimes it's difficult, but I go to bed most nights feeling like Ferris Bueller. You look at the camera of the fourth wall and go, wow, life moves pretty fast. And there's a bit of a dichotomy. Talking about enjoying it, you've absolutely got to enjoy it. But running 26 miles, Rob, is rarely enjoyable, especially when you've had a bit of a hamstring strain like you did. A little bit tight, but the Rob Burrow Leeds Marathon, 14th of May, what an event that is, not just for the Rhinos and the club and the ground, but the city as well. How much are you looking forward to it?
Can't wait. It's going to be, first and foremost, it'll be emotional. So I've been training. I know you've given us some great tips, Kevin and JP too, and me and Jay ran the tough half of it, the Otley Shevin bit on Friday morning, which was all right, and like, he's been great, you know, because you know what he's like. He's just stomping away down Otley Road. He's just class to run with, and we talked and chatted all the way around. And when I've been training on my own, I think about Rob a lot, and like the emotion of that day. That's a week on Sunday. It will be, there'll be moments where we'll be in floods of tears when we're running around, I'm sure, because it's all for Rob. We wish that we weren't doing a marathon and Rob was not going through what he's going through, but we are where we are, and let's make the best of it, and let's make the marathon like a rip-roaring success. It's all about raising money for the MND Rob Burrow Centre at Seacroft. So if you haven't sponsored, have a look at the links, and they're across all our social media platforms. But we're trying to raise £25,000. There's 20 of us running it from the club. Yeah. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I've never run a marathon. I've never run further than 20 miles in my life.
Wow, really?
Ever.
I didn't know that.
So it will be, when we get to Bramhope, coming up after the Shevin, those last 6 miles are like the furthest I've ever run in one go in my life. So I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm blown away how it's brought people together. When I've been running, I've done it twice now on my long runs, and people coming back out of Otley are there, and they're all training for Rob Burrow Leeds Marathon, and they're high-fiving, getting ready for it. But it's going to be a massive event, isn't it? It finishes on the pitch, and that's going to be iconic for a lot of people. That will be cemented in your memory, you know, that feeling of achievement and the cause as to why you've gone out and done what you've done. And it's not just on the day either. Marathons take a long time to prepare for. In terms of special events, you don't get much better than that, Rob, do you?
I just can't wait. I was watching the London Marathon week last Sunday, and that was almost like great preparation. Just sat there watching it, and everyone come in, and like, you know, all different states, and some look fresh, and some look like they're never gonna make it. But yeah, and like with Kev and Rob going to be here, and obviously you and Luke Burgess is coming across from Australia, is going to run it. Nick Youngquest from Australia is coming across just specifically to run it. And then all the other celebrities that are going to run it. Never mind the 12,000 people, of which half have never run a marathon before. Brilliant. Which is like fabulous, isn't it? And then there's the 3,000 or 4,000 half marathoners, which again is like, it's a long way. It is. And that's a good effort too. So you think there's nearly 16,000 runners coming round Leeds, all for our mate. It's going to be absolutely class. I can't wait. It's going to be phenomenal. And back to Rugby League, we've got another event being announced at the end of the season. The Tri-Series against Tonga. Jason Tomalolo, potentially one of the best players in the world, playing the final game here at Headingley. That is in the diary. What are we doing to prepare for that, and how much are you looking forward to it? It'd be great. And getting back to what we said earlier, you know, like that autumn series, if we can have an autumn series every time. And again, that's what we want here at Headingley. We want, you know, international rugby league. We want other events, and that's classed as another event outside our normal Rhinos calendar. So, yeah, can't wait. And they've got some right players, haven't they, Tonga? So it'd be a real challenge for England, which is important. and you see some absolute world stars, and they get a taste of Leeds and a taste of Headingley, and then like, who knows, we'll tap them up.
And back to the domestic game, Salford this week, Friday. Paul Rowley's men, very well educated. Actually, I like watching Salford objectively. I think they're a very smart team and entertaining to watch. Welcoming back the likes of Tyler Dupree, Callum Watkins. They're a tough side, and it's going to be a challenge for us going into a month with a couple of Wigan games, Saints. Big challenge, isn't it?
Big 4 weeks, absolutely. Huge 4 weeks. Season defining 4 weeks, really, innit? In so much as where we're at. And like you say, Salford are like everyone's favourite second team, aren't they? They're like the underdogs and like, you know, fighting so much further than their weight. Brodie Croft, arguably, well, Man of Steel last year, when he's hadn't quite hit the heights, but he's top draw. So we need to play well. We need to play, you know, much better than we did at Lee and get back to like the Catalan and the Huddersfield performance here, and put on a top performance for our fans, don't we? And I have no doubt we will.
And the romance of the Challenge Cup, big game, big team, Wigan. We were just reminiscing earlier about a game we once played against Wigan where we scored in 78th minute, I think. Lee Smith, big box of Haribo come flying out at Wigan end. But it was a great memory, one that stuck in my mind. And this game has got the potential to do exactly the same, hasn't it?
100%. And how funny is it when you get drawn like, and I said that because we're like, Wigan away the following week, the previous week, sorry. And then it happens a lot that, you know, where you get the same team. And I thought it'd be Wigan or Saints here because we're Saints here the following week. So you could guess that they would double up, but it's a tough draw. You know, they're arguably the form team at the minute in Super League and had a bit of a scratchy start. So yeah, they're in great nick and it'd be difficult, but it's huge and it's the Challenge Cup and it's Wigan. So the two biggest sides in the comp here on a Saturday in May. 2:30 kick-off. It's great, isn't it? It's a massive game, so you know, let's hope we get a massive turnout and live on grandstand. Here we go. Let's have it.
And before the men's game, we've got the under-18s as well with a bit of a curtain raiser. You enjoy watching the young boys come through. It's really important, isn't it? It's a good opportunity to play in front of a good crowd.
Absolutely, and like you know, hopefully there's 3, 4, 5, 6 of them who are going to come through and progress into the squad. You know, in the not too distant future. So. Yeah, I love seeing, you know, the progression, and John Bastian and his team are doing a fabulous job at nurturing the next phase after this golden generation that we're hopefully in, and then the next phase after that. So they've done a brilliant job. So always love to see, the 16s, 18s, and the reserve grade as well. So it's we're in a good place rugby wise.
Certainly are. A great story as well by Phil Daly about Harry Medlicott and UNO coming through from Leeds Beckett's University. Got an opportunity with our reserves. Well, get yourself down here on Friday night. It's going to be lots of fun. I think we've got Matt Adamson, back rower from 2003, special guest coming in from Australia. He's going to be in the long bar. Going to be some presentations out on the pitch. Get yourself down. It'd be good to catch up with him, won't it, Matt?
He's a great bloke, and he cared. He was on here 2 years and didn't play in the 2004. Actually, you kept him out. You did, absolutely. But he was like a great bloke and loved the club and still does and talks about us and we. Big Aussie, larger than life, and it'd be great to see Matty.
Family club. It was only the only time, Tony Smith picked the same team twice on the trot. Much to my fortune. Anyway, get yourself down. Let's have lots of fun. Hope to see you in the long bar. Thank you as always for your support. Can't wait to see you. But in the meantime, have a fantastic week. Big thanks to Rob Oates. See you soon.
Go the Rhinos.